Hello everyone and welcome to Halo RV, where the RV stands for random videos. I don't know if I'll keep the name. This is kind of more of like a test run video. And today we're going to be discussing the A7R IV and going into 2025 in a couple months. Do I really think that it is a good camera option to either get into photography or switch depending on what you want? So I'm going to give you guys some information, maybe clear up some questions you guys may have, and then if there's anything you feel like saying, go ahead and put it in the comments, and I'll keep my eye on the comments, and we can get a good discussion going. So let's just jump right in. Alright, so starting out, I'm going to look at what some of the main differences and similarities are between the A7R IV and the A7R V. The A7R IV I'm currently recording on has a full frame 61 megapixel sensor, and it's actually the same sensor that is in the A7R V. But the main, I guess, difference that I've gathered is the processor and the processing of the image in the A7R V is going to be a little bit better, and so the final image quality is negligible, but it's still technically going to be better. But you're still getting the same sensor in the A7R IV versus the A7R V. And I ended up getting the A7R IV, well, for a couple reasons. One of the big ones was also, well, price. So just jumping into price very quick, I got this camera used for, the A7R IV used for $1,700 body only. And when you're looking at the Sony A7R V, you're looking a lot more towards like $2,600 plus. And so that's like almost $1,000 difference just in the body. It's just, would you really be willing to make that jump? Do you find it really worth it? And this is where some of the benefits of the A7R V trumps the A7R IV. So in terms of image quality, you're gonna be, well, image quality, especially in the photos, you're gonna be getting very similar results. And the main reason I'm making the comparison between the R4 and the R5 is, though, the R5 is the newest kind of version of the A7R lineup, and maybe you're going to consider going that route. And it makes sense depending on what you're trying to do. Content creation, like I'm doing right now, you're going to be better off maybe getting the R5. I don't tend to do a lot of video creation. I'm planning on it. Got some ideas in my head, and I think this camera right now, I'm recording in 4K, 30 FPS, and it looks good, especially for a situation that I'm in right now. But if you really want to get that 4K 60 frames a second, you're going to be wanting to look at something else. And then there's also other cheaper options that are still really nice cameras, like the A7 IV that they have less megapixels, but again, the megapixels aren't everything. Higher isn't always necessarily better, and so you can find another camera that's cheaper than the R5 and still be able to retain that 4K 60 FPS, that sort of thing. Another benefit of the R5 over the R4 is going to be the articulating, like the full articulating and swing out screen on the back. It's really good. It comes in lots of handy, and especially I notice right now as I'm recording this video and using the A7R IV, I kind of wish I had a screen on the side, because sometimes I can record a segment and then I go back and I watch it and it might be a little bit blurry, or maybe the exposure compensation isn't correct. So there's something to consider there as well. And one of the last main differences that I see with the R4 versus the R5 is going to be the autofocus and the speed. You have a better processor, it's going to provide slightly faster response, and then that also helps all the different features in their own ways. When it comes to powering on this camera, it does take a while for it to boot up. when you're taking burst shots, it does take a while for those photos to actually write onto the SD card. You're not going to be running into as many of those issues on the R5. And so that's definitely going to be a big plus to people that really want to have that extra speed. So things like eye tracking and the different tracking functions that the A7R lineup has, even though it's really good on the R4, and it picks up animal eye detection very well, human eye detection very well, but I believe the R5 also has like an additional, besides humans and animals, it also has like another auto recognition, so it does better for like birds, I guess, or stuff like that. But, and I'll probably play a clip here as I'm talking of the benefit, not benefit, but just how good the R4 already is at tracking and keeping that track point. It's really snappy, it's really good, and I really appreciate it because I was out filming some videos of some planes taking off with this camera, and it did a pretty good job, and it found the target pretty well, and it stayed pretty consistent. Not a lot wrong there at all. Both cameras have the image stabilization. R5, it might be slightly improved because I don't know if it has like an additional like axis or something to help with that. So there's that. But definitely I don't see much of a reason, me personally, unless I'm trying to do more video stuff, to make that switch or that jump and justify that cost there. But even if I were to do that, there's other Sony cameras in the lineup that can still record 4K 60 that are at a lower price point, maybe a little bit more expensive than the R4, but they still provide you with better video, articulating screens, and that's gonna make a difference for some people, definitely. Alright, so that's gonna I'm just gonna wrap it up. So this is kind of interesting. I'm trying to maybe get into YouTube a little bit. I have some like shorts and stuff that I've made, but the RV and Halo RV kind of stands for random videos. I want to kind of keep it a little bit broad right now. I want to put an emphasis on some photography, but maybe some other stuff, car things, but going out taking photos is something that I really enjoy doing, and if I can make some content related to that and get some nice community feedback, I think it could be rewarding. So and I guess the final thing that I actually do want to mention is we're going into 2025, and do I think that you should go with the A7R IV or the A7R V going into 2025? And to me personally, for mainly just taking photos, I do not see the justification, and even though this is an older camera, to go with the R5, because again, this camera's already got all the bells and whistles. It's just that the minor differences besides the video of like the processing speed and stuff, that's going to be definitely a better option. So hopefully that clears some stuff up. I think this camera the A7R IV will be good for years to come, and it's definitely fun to shoot on. It's responsive, it's good, and it does everything that me personally I want it to do. But if you want something with better video quality, I would maybe look at something else. But if you are die-hard about those 61 megapixels and you also wanted to record the 4K 60, well, then there's your answer. You want to go with the R5, but it is going to cost you. So yeah, that's going to be it. Leave a comment down below, like the video, subscribe if you want. I plan on making some other content, and I will hopefully see you guys in the next one. Later.